Time for another coffee with Kilroy. Or what I sometimes call, yeah, you know it, beverage in a book. This is a hot cup of coffee on a cold day. Today's not that cold. Well, I don't know what today is because I'm filming this in winter, but this is posting on May 8th. Yes, this is part of my Tales of War, my continuing coverage of day-to-day historical events and battles, and which kind of started with this book here, but now I'm off to this book here because, you know, that's my beverage in a book. This Day in History, Great Battles, 365 Landmark Events by Peter Darman. And let me move my coffee out of the way so I don't want to spill it on the map or anything else. But I'm going to still a sip of that hot coffee. So today is May 8th. We are in May, up to May. And what is that today? Today is Joan of Arc turns the tide in the 100 Years' War. The English had been besieging the city of Orleans in central France since October 1428, constructing a number of siege forts around the city. French morale was low after a number of defeats, but the arrival of the peasant girl, Joan of Arc, reinvigorated French forces. Supposedly on a devout mission on the orders of God, she was soon leading French troops to success, capturing the English siege fort of Saint-Loup on May 4th. On May 7th, she led an attack on the English that killed 300 and captured a further 200. On May 8th, the English abandoned their positions and marched away from Orleans. The Battle of Orleans marked the turning point in the 100 Years' War. Following her victory at Orleans, Joan tried to take Paris but failed. She was captured in May 1430 by the Burgundians and handed over to the English, who burned her at the stake in Rouen on May 30th, 1431. Right there. You can see the arrival of the peasant girl, Joan of Arc, reinvigorated French forces. So Joan of Arc, a very interesting and unique character in, person, not necessarily a character, in military history, in history in general, and definitely French history and the 100 Years' War. This is also qualifies as a Kilroy Goes to the Movies, because I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the Joan of Arc movies that I have. This right here, Joan of Arc, this is really a series. It's funny because my daughter was studying this in school, studying Joan of Arc, and so we said, well, let's watch. We had seen this, so she said, well, let's watch this. And we thought it was a movie, and it turns out it was a mini series. So, you know, around 1 or 2 in the morning, we're like, is this ever going to end? Anyway, so this is a mini series. Not bad, but it's kind of a made-for-TV kind of event. This right here, though, The Messenger, is very much a cinematic event. Kind of takes a lot of liberties with the whole story. Dustin Hoffman plays God in this, so just to give you a point of view. But this has Mila Jovovich from Fifth Element and Resident Evil fame. John Malkovich is in this. Faye Dunaway. I mean, it's got some decent cast in here, but is really a kind of a French action movie of sorts. Some of the battle scenes are really good in this, and found this interesting. I enjoyed this better than this, although this might have been closer to history. But anyway, so there's a couple of Joan of Arc movies for you if you're so inclined. As far as games are concerned, I have Joan of Arc Victory 1429. This is a fast-playing war game with a mounted game board. This is from Turning Point Solutions. They have endeavored to recreate or have games that are the 20 decisive battles in history, and I'll put a link to that book. I have covered that book and talked about that on a Coffee with Kilroy. There's my cue. But they have games on the 20 decisive battles. I don't have all of them, but I have several of them. This is the same game company that does Against the Odds magazine. It's LPS Inc., I believe. It owns both Against the Odds magazine and I think Turning Point Simulations. But these are fine games. They have the The rules are not that complex. You know, full color. They're very much like the rules you would find in Against the Odds magazine game. Looks a little kind of dense there, but it's really not that complex of an overall game. It's somewhat of a traditional hex and counter game with, you know, you have your combats results table and terrain effects and the whole like. You've got defensive fires that's a little bit different in this, and you've got French national will that you're trying to keep track of, and then of course a lot of sieges. This is basically a siege conflict. We also have this is the player aid that's in here. It's not the thickest of paper, but it's not just paper, so that's fine. And it keeps track of some of your turn tracks, like replacements, your turn track, and some key factions up there. And then you have your counters on here. You know, they are Against the Odd type counters, so they're somewhat small, and there's a lot of nibs on it, and I don't clip all my stuff, but as you can see here, for anybody that does not like unsightly nibs will probably have a problem with Turning Point games, Turning Point simulation games, and Against the Odd type games for that matter. But there's some of your counters in there and the like. And then it does have a mounted game board though that I do like their boards. They're kind of small, but then again, they don't take up a lot of space. Counters are the hexes are a little bit small as well, but I think the overall art and look of it look pretty nice here. Here, let's see. Here's Reims over here. Right over here. Here's Ruin. This is where she was finally met her maker, being burned at the stake. Here's Tours, famous battle here, and here's Orleans right here. So as you can see, this is not as tactical as it is probably operational, because you've got a little bit more of an area that you're covering. So we're just really not covering the Battle of Orleans. We're covering what it said in that entry. You're covering some of the lead-up engagements as well. So there you have it. That is my Coffee with Kilroy, Tales of War, and Kilroy Goes to the Movie, all in one segment. You are getting bonus material today. You should pat yourself on the back for doing a good job. So if you're interested, there are other games out there covering Joan of Arc, but this is the one that I decided to kind of feature. It's not bad. I mean, this whole system is not bad. It's kind of a interesting endeavor of trying to recreate all those battles. Some are hits, some are misses. It's kind of like a magazine game with a mounted map board of sorts, but generally not horrible games, and gives you a feel of the conflict. Some are better than others. They're ones that deal with the Spanish Armada. I do like that game quite a bit. Anyway, I digress. Maybe I'll cover those individually over time as well. But for today, you're getting a couple of movies, you're getting a game, and you're getting a reading from This Day in History Great Battles. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy your coffee or whatever you're drinking today. And thank you so much. Take care. Thanks for watching.